Undercard, Zabit Magomedsharipov. Holy shit, is this guy good?
No.
He's fucking phenomenal.
An animal?
From Dagestan.
Okay, yeah, they're all
where
good.
there's just something in the water over there.
Yeah.
UFC has undoubtedly grown to quite the epic scale over the last 2 decades. Now, instead of only boasting a few superstar names a la Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, and Randy Couture, the company showcases a whole host of stars which even the most casual of fans will admit to knowing. Among these stars seems to be true shining lights, and none have emerged as much as Dagestan's very own Zabit Magomedsharipov. With his dominance in the absolute champion Berkut becoming the featherweight champion, Zabit went on to sign for the UFC in May 2017. Fight Club Chronicles looks at the emergence of this rising star. Before we carry on, please subscribe to the Fight Club Chronicles YouTube channel and press the bell icon to avoid missing any future videos. Zabit Magomedsharipov, the next Dagestani warrior. Zabit comes from the true ferocious fighters of Dagestan and possesses skills which have made him stand out. With his long reach ensuring he stays out of opponents' striking range, to his elite kicks and grappling, Zabit makes sure he has everything in his arsenal to possibly conquer the featherweight division. In the featherweight division, his physical attributes stand out, being 6'1", using this advantage to fight at a long range. He amplifies his arsenal furthermore by using effective body kicks, and when in range, using decisive punches to put back his opponent. And his grappling game is also of the highest level. Whether he's locking in on one of his signature chokes, the rare Suluev stretch, throwing you around like a sack of spuds, or pulverizing your anatomy with sweetly timed kicks, Zabit has made a habit out of dominating his rivals from the minute he steps foot inside the octagon. With Zabit Magomedsharipov, the simple "if you know" phrase definitely applies. However, if you don't, then here's why he deserves your attention. Zabit isn't what you'd call an orthodox fighter, and his ability to distort his opponents into a multitude of grotesquely unnatural shapes has seen his stock rapidly rise over the 2 years he's spent inside of the UFC since 2017. He currently sits as the number 3 ranked contender in the featherweight division, and you won't find many people currently in that weight class who are in a hurry to take on the awkward Russian. His UFC debut started off with a bang after a convincing win over Mike Santiago. He showed his range of striking and also his wrestling skills. And eventually winning via a rear naked choke, he set his journey off in the UFC in convincing fashion. With further wins over Shaman Moraes, Kyle Bochniak, Brandon Davis, Jeremy Stevens, and most recently Calvin Kattar, Zabit remains on path to fight for UFC honors. In his fight with Bochniak, he showed he can fight against a come-forward aggressive fighter fighting on his back foot, nullifying any of his opponent's strengths. He also ensured his kicks were effective and used them on numerous occasions to counter his opponent's attacks. Zabit even went on to show that he is willing to stand at a telephone booth and trade if needs be, as the last few seconds of the fight showed. The fighter from Dagestan shows he has the total package, which can potentially put him up there with some of the great fighters in the UFC. His creativeness is sometimes unseen of, using the cage as a tool to start his attacks, using effective sweep kicks, and using creative transitions to further conquer his opponent. One issue that has been discussed regarding Zabit is his stamina. This has come into question, yet we are to see him fight a 5-round fight. We will know more if this is a true hindrance to his game, the better the opposition he faces. In his last fight against Calvin Kattar, both sides of Zabit were shown. He showed his brilliance in his striking, especially in the creative sweep which he has in his arsenal, and one that has got the UFC fans' attention. Then, on the other side, he also showed holes in his stamina in the latter stages of the fight. While Zabit is still an enigma in the division, he is still yet to claim a scalp over a serious top name in the division.
As soon as he came on, I'm going 6'2", 145.
Dude.
You couldn't find a skinnier guy, I thought. And then I saw him fight, and man, he was just so impressive.
But a win over the Korean Zombie or Max Holloway would surely set him up as a serious challenger to Alexander Volkanovski's featherweight belt at some point in the near future. Regardless, if you haven't had the pleasure of seeing Zabit mangle, ragdoll, or pummel his enemies into submission, do yourself a favor and pop him on your radar.